Live from Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas, Fox Sports Houston brings you Houston Astros baseball. Today it's the concluding game of this 10-game homestand. The Astros meeting the first-place Cincinnati Reds. Good afternoon, everybody. Bill Brown and Jim DeShays. The Astros 5-4 on this homestand. And today's the deciding game of this series against the club, which played really well last night, JD.
Yeah, Astros did not play very well last night, got thumped by the Reds, but a win today means a series win. It means a 6-4 homestand. That would be awfully nice before heading out on the final road trip of the year.
Brett Myers takes the ball today for the Astros. He's gone 6 innings or more every single time. That's our Jaguar key matchup brought to you by the 2011 Jaguar XJ.
Now, Brett Myers has not lost in about a month and a half. His ERA among the leaders in the National League now has been rock solid. The Astros will get their second look at young Travis Wood. He's 5-3 with a 3.46.
Coming up, the Astros do not want this game going to the Dogs. They meet a club which has won 84 games and has a nice lead in the NL Central. One more series to go with the Astros in Cincinnati as they try to take this series from the Reds next. Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas. And by Jack in the Box, where you can get anything on the menu any time of day. Only 3 more home games remain after this one for the Astros at Minute Maid Park. And they have really played well here, winning 20 of their last 29. Here's the Reds batting order. It's brought to you by Capital One. Brandon Phillips leads it off at second base. It's Miguel Cairo at third. Joey Votto plays first base. Johnny Gomes is the left fielder with Jay Bruce in right field. Ramon Hernandez the catcher. Drew Stubbs is in center field. Paul Yanish, the Houston native, at shortstop batting eighth. Travis Wood is the pitcher. Scott Rowland was in the original lineup at third batting fourth, but he was scratched. Banged up right now. And Brett Myers goes to work on Brandon Phillips as this game gets started. Phillips around to bunt, and he takes ball one. 273 for Phillips, 16 homers, 52 runs batted in. This is the first look the Reds have had at Brett Myers since the 08 season. He gets a pop-up back just above us. And it's a 1-1 strike count. Phillips has been struggling since he was hit by a pitch on the right wrist. You see that Myers is very good at home, JD.
Yeah, an opportunity here to run the table. He's got this start today and maybe won that final series against the Cubs. We'll see how it shakes out. But undefeated here at Minute Maid Park.
He gets strike 2 on Phillips there.
And Brandon Phillips, as often is the case with a struggling hitter, he's pulling off the ball and he's swinging at a lot of pitches out of the strike zone.
Maybe favoring that injured right wrist. He's hit only 127 since he got hit by that pitch August 25th. 1-2 the count. Phillips moved into the leadoff spot. Primarily, he's been the leadoff man since late June. And he has scored 95 runs. That's 7th in the National League. He chops it to the left side. It's charged by Chris Johnson. He throws on the run to Carlos Lee. 1 out.
Take a look at the Astros defensively this afternoon. You saw El Caballo over there at first. Now it opens up left field for Jason Michaels. Tommy Manzella back in there at short today. Sanchez has played the last couple. And Q has been paired with Brett Myers most of the time.
Miguel Cairo is the man who substituted at third for Scott Rowland for this game. 287 for Cairo, 4 homers, 26 runs batted in. He's hit well against the Astros, 389. Made 37 starts this year. This is his 24th at third base. And there's strike 1 for Myers. The Reds' magic number to clinch the division is 8. So any combination of Cincinnati wins and St. Louis losses totaling 8 means they have clinched the division title. It'll be their first since '95. Fly ball toward the line. Hunter Pence over. 2 out for Brett Myers. In Myers' career, he's 2-2 against the Reds with a 3.72 ERA.
Dusty Baker, I'm sure he wanted to have Scott Rowland in the lineup. Initially did. Rowland has very good numbers against Myers, 8 out of 19, a .421 batting average. But one of the things that Dusty's been credited with this year is the way he's handled Rowland. The veteran has been banged up a lot in recent years, giving him time off.
Votto's put together an 8-game hitting streak. He has 34 homers, 104 runs batted in, a .321 average. Magnificent year for Votto. He's hit in 12 straight games at Minute Maid Park. Looks at that Myers pitch to even the count at 1-1. Well, Votto now in his career is a .368 hitter at Minute Maid Park. Has 3 hits and 7 at-bats here this weekend, including a pair of doubles. And that one goes into right field. Votto gets around on it and becomes the first base runner of the day.
It's just a good hitter hitting a good pitch. And he threw a cutter moving in on his hands, and Votto just quick enough to get the head out and get enough of it to hit this ball to right field. This is not a bad pitch at all. He's moving way in on his hands. He's just quick. Cleared that front side. Little 2-out knock. Got to keep an eye on him. He's capable of stealing a bag.
He really is.
He runs well for a Canadian.
Johnny Gomes, 262, 17 homers, 83 runs batted in. Has a career high in the RBI category. There's ball 1 to Gomes. Gomes has fit well into the context of this ball club. At times it's been Lance Nix in left field. Lance Nix has been on the DL but just came off last night. That's a looping liner to left field and a hit for Gomes. Back-to-back 2-out singles bring up Beaumont native Jay Bruce. Bruce is on one of those tears. You talked about it last night, JD. He's hit 8 homers in his last 10 games. 441 over that stretch for Jay with 14 runs batted in. This is not the time a pitcher wants to be facing him.
No, and you know, you can just see it in his body language when he comes up to hit, the way he approaches it. He's very aggressive. You throw him that first pitch in the zone, and he's more times than not taking a pretty good whack at it. So you got to be careful here with a couple of men on. That's the great equalizer there when you throw that get-over curveball. And it's not a sloppy curveball from Myers either. It's got good bite.
Well, it sure did, and right on the corner, too. Bruce takes it low, and it's a 1-ball-1-strike count. Jay missed a dozen games with pain in his right side. Since he returned, he's played 6 games, and he's hit .368. Had a couple of hits, including a homer last night. He drives this ball to center field. Michael Bourne backs on it. It's a 0 for Brett Myers in the first. The Reds lead 2. Travis Wood heads for the mound next. One starting lineup for Brad Mills. Michael Bourne at center field. Jeff Keppinger at second base. Hunter Pence in right field. Carlos Lee moving to first base for this game against the lefty. He's had a big series with homers in each of the first 2 games. Jason Michaels gets the call in left field with Chris Johnson at third base. Tommy Manzella plays shortstop. The catcher is Humberto Quintero. The pitcher, Brett Myers.
Travis Wood, a 23-year-old left-hander for the Cincinnati Reds this afternoon. Showed you how good Myers has been at home. Well, take a look at Travis Wood's work on the road this year. 5-1. All 5 of his major league starts coming on the road. Defensively, he gets help from Gomes, Stubbs, and Jay Bruce. He can really throw it in right field. Cairo, a capable fill-in for Roland at third. Paul Giannis from Houston gets a start at short. Brandon Phillips, a Gold Glove candidate at second. And Joey Votto rounds out the infield. Ramon Hernandez behind the plate.
Michael Bourne just took strike 1. 265 for Michael. He's been on base 26 straight games in which he's had a plate appearance. That's the longest by an Astro since Lance Berkman in '07, pitching in 28 straight. 2 homers, 38 runs batted in for Michael. 4 for 8 in this series with an RBI. Jeff Bagwell was mentioning either last night or the night before, he really likes the at-bats Michael has had recently against left-handed pitching. Even though their batting average isn't there where he'd like it to be, he thinks he's hanging in very well.
Good test right here off this tough lefty. Left-handed hitter sitting just 132 off Travis Wood. He will not light up the radar gun, but he's got a good fastball. He's got real quick arm action. I think that ball gets in on the hitter more quickly than they anticipate.
Wood catches the zone, and Brian Runge rings it up for a strikeout.
And that's a Runge ring up for sure. Boy, that was emphatic.
It was.
Leaving no doubt. Travis Wood clips that outside corner.
Sky hook.
Very, very theatrical. I like it. That's nice. Never mind the pitcher and the hitter. I just want to watch the umpire. Watch this. Way up high, and then boom.
Solar plexus punch. Jeff Keppinger's next. Oh, yeah, pumped you up. Yeah, now you're pitching. You love to see that, don't
you? Moonwalk. Give it to me.
Now he's looking over at the Astros bench.
Baggy's giving him some grief. I think Baggy was dogging him about not so much his zone, but about the call.
That's just some fun they're having there. That's no problem. 1 ball, 1 strike. Just a little by play between 2 friends. That's all that's about. Not always all that serious. Jeff Keppinger, the former Red, at 291, has 5 homers. He's driven in 54. Gets jammed on that one. Throws it over to George Grant. Oh, Chris Welsh is able to pick it up. He didn't catch it cleanly, but
he was trying to sell it, though, isn't he? Trying to pretend that he caught it.
And, you know, this is George Grant's final game in the booth here this year. He came out of retirement to work a few games. George did not even make an effort for that ball. He looks like a retired guy right now. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Welsh. Love that. Bill Cousins didn't offer to help him either.
Wish they had our feed over there, but they're busy doing their own broadcast. Hard to dog a guy when you can't see it.
3 balls, 2 strikes to Keppinger. Wood has kept the walks down, only 24 and 83 in a 3rd innings. He has shown the Reds brass a real knowledge of how to pitch. That's out into right center, and Brandon Phillips is turning and making the catch. 2 outs.
Phillips, a Gold Glove winner in 2008, leads all second basemen in fielding percentage this year. He's made just 3 errors. And, part of a very good defensive club.
Travis Wood came up July 1st and entered this Reds rotation. Then he went back down to the minors and was recalled August 19th. Hunter Pence, 283 with 24 homers, has 85 driven in, and he had a big game against Wood, 3 for 3 with a homer and 3 runs batted in. That's the only time Wood has faced the Astros. That was July 23rd here against Bud Norris. He got no decision. Gave up 4 runs in 6 innings. Hunter was the main protagonist against him with 3 runs batted in. Ooh. No balls, 2 strikes.
And just his 3rd major league start, he took a perfect game into the 9th inning at Philadelphia. Allowed a leadoff single, got a no decision in a game the Reds lost 1-0 in 11 innings. They were up against that Halladay fella.
Oh yeah. 1 and 2.
In fact, that was dueling no hitter for a good while. I think Halladay took one into it, if not through 7.
Strikeout for Wood. That's number 2. He has a very sharp 1st inning, and it's scoreless. Sojourn of the season. It'll be 11 days and 10 games on the road. Beginning tomorrow night in Washington, Bud Norris and Livan Hernandez. Bud's still bruised, but ready to take that start from taking that ball off the shin. Now it's Ramon Hernandez leading it off in the Reds' 2nd inning against Brett Myers. 300 batting average, 6 homers, 45 driven in for the catcher. He's 0 for his last 10. And there's ball one to Ramon Hernandez. Last night it was Ryan Hannigan doing the catching. He had a big game. 3 hits, 2 runs batted in. Hernandez was behind the dish in the opener of this series. He was 0 for 3 with a walk. Myers throws a strike to him to even the count at 1-1 with Stubbs on deck. Myers is 5th in the National League in innings pitched. Bronson Arroyo is right there behind him. Arroyo got the win last night. He's on your left. 6 innings of strong ball, and he worked with Ryan Hannigan there, who was alongside him on the 11-1 win.
Well, it's Bronson and the kiddos in this Reds rotation. He's the KG veteran, 33 years of age. Everybody else in that rotation, 27 years of age or younger.
Shot into left field. Hernandez gets the 3rd single for the Reds in this game.
Well, this State of Astros history is brought to you by the MD Anderson Cancer Center, making cancer history. September 19th, 1971. But Joe Morgan bashes an 11th inning home run on his 28th birthday to torpedo the Reds 5-4. It's kind of ironic because it's his last home run before the Reds acquire him. In that big trade, Reds got Joe Morgan, Cesar Geronimo, Dennis Menke, Jack Billingham at Armbruster. Astros got Tommy Helms, Lee May, and Stewball, Jimmy Stewart. Worked out pretty good for the Cincinnati ball club.
Well, and the Astros did get a return too from Lee May and Helms and Stewart, but nonetheless, yeah, that was a pretty one-sided deal. 1 ball, 1 strike. Stubbs leads the club in steals with 25. Drew with 19 homers. Also was among those who went deep in last night's game. Reds hit 3 last night. It's 1-2. So Stubbs needs 1 more homer to join the 2020 club. He's hitting 4 in a row now with 2 homers. And in fact, he's hit 4 homers and driven in 9 runs in his last 10 games.
Key is get ahead of him like Brett has, and then stay out of the zone. Try to get him to chase. He has struck out a lot this year. Probably the most important thing for a pitcher to know going into a game is who will work a walk and who just wants to swing the bat. Who do I have to give in to? Who can I stay out of the zone and just let them wail away?
Well, Giannis is on deck with a count 2-2. The Reds are 8-3 against the Astros this year. The Reds are 6-2 at Minute Maid Park. In fact, Dusty Baker was referring to the Astros being a team that's kind of swung the race this year, with the Astros 10-5 against St. Louis, but 3-8 against Cincinnati. Strikeout, and that's number 1 for Myers.
The Astros just dominate the Reds, and then that's turned around the last couple of years. The Reds have won 20 of the last 27 meetings between these 2 clubs.
Now it's Paul Giannis. Paul got to the ballpark early today. Saw him in the elevator with his luggage. 27-year-old Houston native. You know he had to be pumped up to get the start today. He went to Cy Creek High School, Rice University. 274 for Paul. 5 homers, 24 runs batted in. 5th round pick of the Reds in 04. Billy Hatcher says he's one of their smartest players. One ball, 1 strike. Orlando Cabrera is a fine shortstop, but Giannis very good defensively.
Yeah, he's probably giving them a little bit more with the bat than they anticipated too.
Hunter Pence comes in and over toward the right field line a little bit. That's the Giannis fly ball. 2 outs. And now it's Travis Wood. You know, when you hear from the Reds people about the young pitchers, Travis Wood and Mike Leake, and what they've done this year, it's been a very big part of their success that these 2 young pitchers have come up and they've really known how to pitch to major league hitters.
And 2 different paths to the big leagues. Leake signing out of college last year and already in the big leagues, and Wood, a kid who signed out of high school, has worked his way up through the system.
Wood was a 2nd round pick in 05 from Little Rock, Arkansas. Foul ball there for strike 1. Wood was the Reds minor league pitcher of the year last year. Pitched at Double-A Carolina for 19 starts and then 8 starts at Triple-A Louisville. Lunges at the curve, and it's 0-2. Wood was listed as the 7th best Reds prospect coming into this season by Baseball America. That's strike 3. Myers gets number 2 with no runs ahead. A runner stranded, no score.
Sponsor of youth baseball programs throughout the state of Texas. If you'd like to learn more about Chevy's commitment to youth league baseball programs, visit ChevyTexasBaseball.com. Bill?
Thanks, Patty. Good Sunday at the ballpark. Patty and Jimmy Wynn doing the pre and post game. Astros live. Folks were out early with their dogs walking around the field.
Ooh, we might have to come up with an all-dog team.
That could be fun. Sounds as if you are quite intrigued by that dog.
Here.
I'll give you a little something to work on.
Anybody named Schnauzer?
Can't think of anybody.
Les Schnauzer played for the Brooklyn Bridegrooms back in 1907.
Carlos Lee takes strike 1. 6-game hitting streak for El Caballo. He's hit 3 homers in the last 6. He homered Friday night and again last night.
A great at-bats last night. 3 hits in the game. Pretty nice groove right now, the big man.
We had a nice chat in the manager's office about Carlos at first base. 4 for 7 in this series, 2 homers. Brad Mills thinks Carlos has handled first base very well with little work. Somebody asked him about Carlos improving. He said, I wouldn't use the word improvement because he was pretty good to begin with.
Yeah, I think he's the same guy. Remember, he came up as a third baseman. He's always showed good hands in the outfield.
We're starting to wonder. You know, a lot of people look at the club on the field right now, start to project for spring training next year.
Well, yeah, and it's, you know, obviously I think they would love to see Brett Wallace step to the fore next spring and really take over that job, but it gives you a nice little plan B. I don't know if he struggles and he's really.
Seems that one well out of play.
Anyway, if it is determined that Brett Wallace needs a little more seasoning down on the farm, then we usually see Carlos being the first baseman next year.
Just looking at the Astros, the way they've played against lefties with this lineup, with Carlos at first, and Jason Michaels usually plays left field when that happens. The Astros have won 9 in a row against left-handed starters. They're 26-14 against southpaws this year. That's not to say that Brett Wallace cannot hit lefties, because in the minor leagues he hit them better than right-handed. Fly ball in the infield. Brandon Phillips takes care of out number 1, but it's an intriguing thought to some. And of course, we're not sure about Jason Michaels.
Right, whether he'll be back or not. But I think what it does is it takes the pressure off Ed Wade of thinking that he has to cover that position this winter.
Right.
As he watches this September, I'm sure the hope was that Brett Wallace would come up and be really, really good. Okay, there's our guy. We're locked in. But, since that hasn't happened, he doesn't have to go out and find another first baseman now, because he's got Carlos to cover that spot.
Ball 1 to J. Mike. 242 is his average. He has 7 homers, 23 driven in. He's hit 276 against southpaws. Jeff Brantley was talking about that last pitch that Wood just threw. He said what Travis Wood is so good at doing is coming inside with the cutter on right-handed hitters. He'll establish that early in the game, and that'll set up some off-speed stuff later on the way.
Perfectly placed little two-seamer right there, but he didn't get the call.
And Jeff Brantley, the Cowboy, over in the Reds radio booth, just thinks that this man has a great feel for when the hitter's going to be leaning out and to bust him inside. 3 balls and a strike. Batting average against Wood is 229.
Yeah, left-handed hitters have done absolutely nothing against him. .132 with 1 home run. Righties a little bit more success. 248 average, 6 home runs. 83 innings of work now for Travis Wood. He has had a hard time in recent starts pitching deep into games.
That's out toward right field. Jay Bruce moving. 2 down. Yeah, he has. He only went 5 innings last time out in a 3-1 loss to Arizona. 5 innings the time before at Colorado. The last win came at St. Louis September 4th. He hit a home run in that game and gave up 1 unearned run in 7 innings in a 6-1 win. And very good on the road. 5-1, 334, as we showed earlier. Chris Johnson, 318. Takes a strike. Chris with 9 homers, 47 runs batted in, trying to become the first Astro base runner today. 2 for 7 in this series.
Nice little change up.
Yeah, really wound up in that low target where Hernandez set up. He gets a swing and a miss. And that is strikeout number 3 already for Wood. Very precise through 2. Nothing.
the approaching, discover the magic of spring training and join the team in Florida next spring. With great prices, now's the time to get to spring training. Visit Astros.com/spring travel or call 800-892-7687. Bill?
Thanks, Patty. It's 0-0. Here's the third inning, and Brandon Phillips leads it off. Taking strike one from Brad Myers. Phillips led off the game with a ground ball to third. Myers 7-0 with a 2.16 ERA at home in 13 starts. One of only 2 undefeated home starters in the majors. Tommy Hunter of Texas is 7-0 in 10 starts. No balls, 2 strikes for his career at Minute Maid Park. He is 8-1. His ERA 2.45 is the lowest career ERA at Minute Maid Park in stadium history. Slightly lower than Roger Clemens' 2.55. 1-2. Myers on a 4-game winning streak. Those wins coming at Philly, at New York, at Chicago, and here last time out he beat Milwaukee 4-2. Swing and a miss on the curve, and Phillips is gone. That's strikeout number 3.
That Milwaukee game allowed just the 1 run, had a big strikeout game, punched out 10. His stuff has been so consistent from start to start this year. A lot of times, a pitcher will go through a bit of a dead arm period where they just won't have good life on their pitches and they'll really have to force it. That really has not been the case for Myers.
Miguel Cairo makes that one foul, strike one. Cairo hit a fly ball to right in the first inning.
Just starts Cairo there with a changeup. So he's established all of his pitches in the strike zone, so the hitter's got a lot of things to contemplate. Fastball with good sink, the cutter, the slider, the curve, changeup, and command of all of them.
Cairo takes 1-2. Cairo, 36 years old. Played with the Phillies last year. Had only 45 at bats, but he did see action in the postseason. He may be seeing action in the postseason this year against the Phillies. That's the way the playoff pairing would shape up as of right now. Pitch in the dirt makes it 2 balls, 2 strikes. That's why some are speculating that perhaps Travis Wood would be the #1 starter in Philadelphia after pitching that tremendous ball game you talked about earlier this year. That was back on July 10th against Roy Halladay.
Yeah, it would be a bit of a leap, to take a kid with such limited experience and put him in that position. But I think the pitching situation in Cincinnati calls for outside the box thinking.
Dusty Baker was talking about that very thing before the game today. He said he's going to have tough decisions about his playoff roster. And every manager goes through that. Guys who have been in the rotation, do they make the postseason roster in the bullpen, or can they do that? Carlos Lee comes over. 2 down. And Joey Votto comes up next. Votto single to right field in the first inning.
And how many pitchers do you really want to carry in a short series?
Yeah.
A lot of times the manager will sacrifice an arm or two to have a guy on his bench who can come up and get a big hit for him, or come off the bench and steal a base.
Votto looks at it. It's ball 1. It's 2 balls, no strikes. Joey has been selective this year. He's walked 85 times. That's 3rd in the league. Leads the league in on base average at .422. Cracks that one to center field, sending Michael Bourne back. Michael watching it. It's off the wall, kicks back towards center field. Votto into second base, taking the big turn. But hold on there with a double. Carlos trailed him, and he went diving back into second, thinking the Astros might throw behind him.
That ball was crushed. You could just tell by Michael Bourne's reaction. Michael realizing pretty early on there's no way he was going to be able to track that down. So he just turned around and got ready to play the carom. This is a 2-0 breaking pitch. When you think a hitter might be sitting on a fastball, he's just looking for the ball. He's looking for a ball in the zone, and that's his power boy. He can kill the ball to left center field.
He hit a rifle shot. Yeah. 34 doubles for Votto. There's a board for Johnny Gomes now. Gomes to right field. Hunter Pence over toward right center. And on the run makes the grab to end the third inning. Astros outfielders have made some big plays in this series. It's 0-0. Top pitchers in the minors this year. Josh Banks had a 4.04 ERA for Round Rock. Doug Arguello 7-5 with a 2.55 ERA for Corpus. David Berner had a dozen saves for Lancaster. Jose Trinidad, good numbers for Lexington. Carlos Quevedo caught the attention of a lot of folks in the Astros front office with that 7-3 season at Tri-City. And Garrett Bullock 3-1 at Greenville. 0-0 here. Tommy Manzella, bottom of the third inning. He looks at ball one. Tommy, a .222 hitter with one homer, has 19 runs batted in. Astros still looking for their first base runner against Travis Wood. Tommy puts it in the air foul. He's been watching Angel Sanchez play shortstop the last few days. Now Tommy gets his opportunity. He's hit .317 against lefties. Sanchez had a 10-game hitting streak that ended last night. 2 balls and a strike. He lunges for it. It's 2-2.
Well, he's got a very good feel for his changeup today. That's what he beat Chris Johnson with to end the second. Comes right back with a dandy here on Manzella.
Strike 3 call. That's 4 strikeouts for Wood.
Executing a pretty good game plan here. He and catcher Ramon Hernandez. So you have the changeups and then the good fastball right there, knee high. Again, it's that short, quick delivery that he's got. So if you're thinking stay back because of the changeup, and he throws you that cutter in on your knuckles, he's going to break some bats.
Humberto Quintero's in the box with a .227 average. Okay, he's going to go with this little leg kick today. There's ball one. He's been working in batting practice on this. Watch the left toe, which points back toward the rear. .227 for Q with 3 homers, 13 driven in. And a foul tip goes into the catcher's mitt for a 1-ball, 1-strike count.
trying to make sure he keeps his weight back a little bit longer before coming forward. A little more momentum in the swing. And not a bad idea. You know, Q's been around long enough now. He hasn't hit for real high average, so you know, why not try to juice the ball a little bit more?
Leg kick could help with that. Wood blisters that one by him in 91. 2-2. He sets up his fastball very well. Shooting for win number 6 today. Three and 2 with Brett Myers on deck. The Astros have won in 11 of Q's last 12 starts behind the dish. This is his 68th start of the year and new career high every time he goes out there now. Draws that one away. Happy birthday to Joe Prince, who is 92 today. He's going to sing at the 7th inning stretch.
And he won't be singing happy birthday to me. He'll be singing God Bless America, but absolutely, Joe Prince, aptly named a prince of a guy, 92 years old. Happy birthday, Joe.
It's popped up. Yanish comes in from shortstop. 2 down. We go to Patty Smith.
Country music stars Blake Shelton and Montgomery Gentry are coming to Conroe on October 2nd and 3rd for the Toyota Texas Bass Classic. Buy your tickets now for only $15 per day at HEB and at Academy stores. Bill?
Thanks, Patty. Now it's Brett Myers. Travis Wood doing what he did in Philadelphia. He was perfect through 8. Myers takes ball 1. Brett with 10 hits at 58 at bats has a 172 average. He's driven in 1. Cuts that one in for a strike. He gave up a leadoff double in the 9th to Carlos Ruiz, and that spoiled his perfect game. Wound up with 9 innings of 1-hit shutout ball, and the game went to the Phillies 1-0 in the 11th. 2 balls and a strike. Just another in the many matchups of dominant pitchers this year. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Going into Thursday, there had been 56 games in which the score was 1-0 this year. And baseball's on a pace for the most 1-0 games since 1976. Wood was involved in back-to-back 1-0 games. That 1-0 11-inning loss to the Phillies, and then next time out he lost 1-0 at home to Colorado. So he gave up 1 run 15 innings and didn't get a win. Still 2-2. Cole Hamels has won 2 and lost 2 1-0 games this year. Concert after the game today from Mercy Me. That is strike 3, and 3 perfect innings in the book for Travis Wood. 5 strikeouts. Of the first 9 retired, it's 0-0.
half of the fourth. The Astros are hitless. The Astros play the Cubs on Saturday, October 2nd, that final weekend of the season, 6:05 game, and the first 10,000 fans will receive a Craig Biggio bobblehead, courtesy of Cons. And come early, and you'll be able to see the minor league MVP ceremony as well. Astros.com for tickets. Look at Bish making solid contact.
And Jim Connors getting all the right notes again today. He's down there every Sunday home game. One more Sunday to go at home, October 3rd against the Cubs.
It's got a very light touch.
Jay Bruce leads it off in the fourth inning. Bruce hit a fly ball to center with 2 men on to end the Reds first. Looking at ball one. Hunter Pence's catch on Johnny Gomes' line drive ended the third. The Reds have had a couple of scoring opportunities in this game. They've had 4 hits, 3 of them singles. Myers misses in, and it's 2 balls, no strikes for Brett.
Bruce put a pretty good swing on one last time. Hit a deep fly ball to center field.
Fouls that back, and it's 2-1 for Jay. Myers has gone 6 innings or more in all 30 starts this year, club record. And it's the longest streak to begin a season in the majors since '02, when Curt Schilling went 6 innings or more in his first 35 appearances for Arizona. Good movement there. Takes the count to 2-2.
Cutter in, followed up by this sinker moving down and away. Make the hitter aware of one side of the plate, and then get some good movement going the other way. Now coming back in.
And tap foul by Bruce. The Reds lead the league in runs scored, so this matchup is a very good one for people who really follow the game and know that Myers has the 9th best ERA in the league and really has it going this year. All that consistency, and the Reds can really pound on a pitcher. 3-2. The Reds have had winning records in every month except this one so far. They're 7-10 in September. Swing and a miss, and he goes back to that pitch and strikes him out, number 4.
That really worked him over pretty well after falling behind in the count. Good cutter in, a couple of sinkers away.
Ramon Hernandez singled to left field in the second inning. Atlanta 2, the Mets 2. They're in the bottom of the 6th inning at Citi Field. David Wright hit his 24th home run. Now it's hit off the foot of a hobbling Hernandez, bouncing around there at home plate. Derek Lowe's on the mound today for the Braves against the knuckleballer R.A. Dickey. Now Brad Mills coming out to ask a question of Brian Runge.
Well, yeah, Brian Runge called a foul ball, and Q's arguing that it didn't hit his foot.
So we could have Jeter Gate all over again.
Yeah.
There was quite a flap about that Derek Jeter feigning being hit by a pitch when it actually hit the bat the other day. Bouncer left side to Hopper. Manzella over the lead, 2 down.
Jeter says the umpire told him to take his base. What am I going to do? Argue with the guy?
No. 2 down, and it's Drew Stubbs. He struck out in the second inning. And Stubbs has a chance to learn now a little bit about playing center field from Jim Edmonds. There was some talk about that today on the Reds side of the field. But Edmonds has been a very good influence on this young center fielder. There's ball 1. And, you know, the depth at which the center fielder plays in this park becomes an issue sometimes. A lot of balls can fall in front of him for hits. But there's so much ground to cover. 436 up to the top of the hill.
Yeah, and that can be intimidating. Most center fielders like to play shallow and trust their speed to go back on balls, but it's so big out there. It provides a little different scenario for a lot of center fielders. So really what you have to do is be mindful of game situations. Base runners, out situations, how deep you are in the game, when you can afford to gamble and not.
Michael Bourne over in left center field. Takes care of the third out. 0-0 after 3.5. This is four dealers showing you the players with the most steals in the majors since 2008. Michael Bourne is atop the list. Carl Crawford second. Tied with Juan Pierre. Then it's Jacoby Ellsbury and P.J. Upton since 08. It's Michael Bourne leading it off in the home fourth inning in a 0-0 game. He struck out looking in the first.
Might have to steal first here the way things are going with Wood on the mound.
Yeah. There's been something else ripping through the Astros the first time through the order here. Bunt. It's a beauty. Wood throws it away, and Bourne will get to second base. Now picked up by Jay Bruce, and Michael Bourne gets something going with a beautiful bunt up the first base line. A single and an error on Wood. That's Wood's third error of the year.
And that's a ball that Travis Wood be better off just leaving it alone. There's no way he's going to throw out Michael Bourne, who drops down a dandy of a bunt, little backspin, checks right there for him. There's a chance it would have trickled foul. You see the way he's kicking towards the line. And there was no chance he was going to throw out Michael Bourne. I'm not sure what kind of information he was getting from his catcher, but it should have been, let it go, let it go, let it go.
Yeah. You're right. That would have been the only wise play to make on it. Now, a runner at second base, nobody out as a result of the error. That was the 10th bunt hit for Michael this year.
The best play would have been let it roll foul. The second best play would have been pick it up and not throw it. And the worst play is the one he chose to make. But as a pitcher, you're greedy. You're trying to get that out.
Here's strike one. Michael was showing some movement off second base, so Hernandez came up out of his crouch. Jeff Keppinger taking a strike. Keppinger worked the count full and popped to second baseman Brandon Phillips in first. Game like this, really important here to get him to third somehow. Larry Durker's going to join us here. Does he have his Hawaiian shirt on? He does, of course.
Let it go, Dirk.
It's a weekend. It's a weekend, and you're
What are you doing, man?
How are you, Dirk?
Just goofing off. Got a bunch of alumni guys up in one of the suites, and so we're telling a lot of lies. Actually, you know what happens, Ace? You know how this is when you get all the wives together. They start talking about the kids, and it becomes more about families than it does about baseball.
Yeah. What a great group you have today. We heard some of the names the other day. Ground ball to short. Bourne going to third. Giannis with the throw, and it's waiting. Tag made by Cairo, and there's out number 1.
I don't care how fast you are. If you try to go from second to third on a sharp ground ball right to the shortstop, you're in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, Giannis, a good headsy player. And a good play. Yeah, that's, we talk about this a lot. Speed guys run into outs because they want to take advantage of their speed. They're always trying to press the action.
Yeah, typically, if it's slow hit or if it's hit to your left, you can make it. But if it's hit right at the shortstop, you're slow.
Hunter Pence puts one in the air to shallow right. Jay Bruce coming over. 2 outs now. Well, it looked like it could be a rally in the making. Now it's dependent on Carlos Lee to do something.
Yeah, but it's been kind of fun. I know how it is in the broadcast booth. And it can get deadly toward the end of the year if the team's not in contention and not playing well. Right. When you've got young blood and you're winning your fair share of games and knocking off contenders, that's got to make it better for you guys.
Well, and you are out in the community more than we are, but aren't you hearing a lot of favorable comments?
Oh, a lot of favorable. They like the kids. They feel the energy, whether they're at the park or just watching the game on TV. It's so obvious, and I think for a couple of years, people have really known deep down you're going to have to start getting younger and faster and make a shift. And it's nice that they've done that now, and I expect the team to keep getting better. I don't know if that means they're going to go right out and win a championship next year, but I think things should continue to get better for a while now.
And it's nice that they've played together for a few months now rather than just having a bunch of September call-ups. You really have a hard time interpreting those September results sometimes from young players, don't you?
You do. One thing that I used to say, though, is we'd go to spring training, and there'd be 3 or 4 spots open on the team, and we'd identify 10 or 12 guys that were competing for those 3 or 4 spots. And a lot of emphasis was placed on how they competed against each other in spring training. And I said, I'd rather look at what they did last year under real competitive situations, not in exhibition games, not fresh off a winter of rest.
Giannis to his right, throws from the hole, throws low to Phillips. Big play by Phillips. Wow, what a nice job.
Can I stick around and talk about golf?
We need to talk about some golf. It's nothing here. Is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers, by AT&T, by Comcast, and by Gullo Ford and Gullo Toyota. It's a 0-0 game through 4. Larry Dierker joining us. The youngster enjoying his Sunday afternoon. And it's Paul Yanish, Houston product, leading it off here and taking ball one high. And Larry is talking about the Astros Alumni Golf Classic, which is coming up in November. It's always really popular in this area. And you are with some of the guys in the suite. When you get finished here, you'll go back to that. Larry will be taking part in that. We always have a great turnout. It's Tuesday, November 16th, benefiting Astros in Action. For more information, you can call that number, 713-259-8979. Just a great day.
Yeah, it's a great day. Last year, we really made a quantum leap in terms of the participation of former players.
Michael Bourne in center, ready for this Yanish fly ball. Yeah, it was a super turnout last year, and I think it's something for people to point for because November is always a great month.
Yeah, what really helped a lot last year is that we got Cal Dive in as a major sponsor, and we hadn't had a major sponsor before. It looks like we've got a chance for waste management this year, and the proceeds are going to go to the Urban Youth League, so they go to a baseball-related charity, and I expect it to just be fabulous.
It's a Wildcat, is that correct?
It's a Wildcat, November 16th. Yeah, I think we tee off about 11, but guys will start getting there 9:30, 10 o'clock. And we got spots open for foursomes, spots open for sponsors. And all you got to do is get on the website. To use the telephone number, it was up on the screen, or get on Astros.com, follow the links to the alumni page, and you can sign up right there.
That makes it easy. A little tap by Travis Wood. You know, as you watch Travis Wood and a lot of these young pitchers, 2 years, 1 year in the big leagues, rookie season, has it been really enjoyable for you to see the trend in the game this year?
It has. You know, one of the columns I did for MLB.com was on the resurgence of pitching in baseball. It has. It's been great. You know, some of them are just good pitchers, move the ball around and change speeds, and some of them are power guys. But it just seemed to me like from the time, I think it was 1998 when we went to 30 teams, that there just weren't enough pitchers to go around. And it seemed like at that time, of course, a lot of great hitters were already in the game. More were coming into the game. That was during an era where people were getting a little help with their power stroke. And it seemed like the pitchers were constantly under siege. And now the pitchers are starting to make their comeback.
Brandon Phillips batting. You saw, was that Monty Irvin up in the suite there?
That's him.
And he's, 90 years old now? Something like that?
91 or 2.
Wow.
Hall of Famer, New York Giants, one of the first players to go from the Negro Leagues to the Major Leagues. And a fabulous guy. I mean, he's as sharp now, I think, as he probably ever has been. He can remember everything. Just delightful to talk to him.
Joe Cruz up there. One hopper goes to third. Chris Johnson with the throw. It went too quickly, Larry Dierker, but thanks for joining us. We look forward to that.
We like it to go
day.
quickly when we're in the field.
And you love good pitching. So
I'll see you guys out at the golf tournament.
We'll see you there, Derek. 0-0. Up, and we have some trivia for you. Brought to you by AT&T here in this scoreless game. As the Astros come up with Michaels, Johnson, and Mansella, AT&T has a question. Besides Brett Myers and Kurt Schilling, name the other 5 pitchers to go 6 innings or more in their first 30 appearances to start a season. Give you a few moments on that one. And it's Jason Michaels taking ball 1. Michaels hit the fly ball to right, working the count full in the 2nd inning.
Think Hall of Famers. Think Larry Dierker contemporaries.
Yeah. 60s and 70s guys. Yankees 2, Baltimore 1, middle of the 4th inning in Baltimore. Andy Pettitte has returned for the Yankees.
With one exception, one of those pitchers did it in 1993.
Okay. Michaels fouls it away. There's been only one hit for the Astros. A bunt single by Michael Bourne. He advanced to second on the error by Wood, but then was thrown out trying to go to third on a grounder by Keppinger. The Astros now have won 18 of their last 26. They're 5 games under 500 currently at 71-76 in 3rd place. Michaels hit by the pitch. And that gives the Astros another leadoff base runner here in the 2nd inning in a row.
Now Wood likes to throw that cut fastball in on the right-handed hitters. That time he clipped the back elbow or back arm of Jason Michaels. Painful way to get on base. Well, it could be the start of something.
You know, the way things are going today, that'll work. It's the 4th time J-Mike has been hit. 3rd hit batsman for Wood. Chris Johnson struck out on that changeup in the 2nd inning. He saw a couple of them in that at bat.
Just saw another one right there, but not a good one. Wood, very quick delivery to home plate. There have been no steals against him this year, and there have been no attempts.
Wow.
Yeah, just talking about shutting down the running game. Free swing here.
TJ pumps a line drive to the right field corner. Michaels heads for 3rd base. Dave Clark is waving him to 3rd, bringing him around the base, stopping him there on a double. The throw to the plate's a good one, and it was a nice decision by Clark. Nobody out. He's going to make the Reds make a mistake, or otherwise he's going to hold him at 3rd. And Bruce has a big time out.
And I'm sure Clarkie wanted to try to send him. That's why he came so far down the 3rd base line to let that play develop. But with no outs, decided to shut it down. And 2-0 fastball, and Johnson hammers it into the right field corner. Michael's giving you everything he's got. Clarkie's waving him, and finally at the last throws up the stop sign. Astros with a golden opportunity. They are down at the bottom of the batting order. Reds conceding a run here. Ground ball pretty much anywhere will get a run home.
Mansella failed to make contact earlier. Now he does make contact. A one hopper.
Oh, wow. Yep. How about the irony of that?
Right at Votto, and Michaels stayed at 3rd.
Yeah, a little soft line drive, so Jason could, if that's just a routine 2-hopper, he scores. But because of the nature of that ground ball, airborne for a while, he had to wait to make sure it wasn't caught. And put himself in a position where he could be doubled off.
Now the infielders move in some on Quintero. Looks like it's going to be halfway for, well, now they're backing up further. 4Q. Pitcher spot up next, so Wood has an excellent chance to get out of this. Pretty much up to the number 8 hitter. And they have backed up most of the way. Foul back to strike 1.
Yeah, if this is later in the game, 7th inning or so, Dusty Baker might put Quintero on here. Of course, at that stage of the game, those are the game plan to pinch hit for Myers, so it changes the equation. There's not a man on second base. The infield's all the way in right now. But a base hit could score 2.
It'll score Michaels, and it might get two. Johnson to the plate. The throw is offline. It is a two-run single. Quintero in the second. Now he'll go to third, and he will make it. 2-0 Astros. The number 8 hitter comes through with a line shot, driving in a couple.
Hey, maybe it's that leg kick. Rarely do you see Quintero pull the ball with that kind of authority. A good, solid line drive single to left field.
Single, he takes second on the throw, and then an error on the catcher. Hernandez gets him to third.
The Reds have been a little bit sloppy at times in this series. Gomes flat-footed as he got that ball, had no momentum for his throw home. And then the error on the catcher as Phillips can't handle it. Watch out for potential squeeze here with one out.
Brad Myers, the batter, he struck out looking in the third. Infielders in halfway up the middle. Myers has 1 RBI this season.
You almost had a little league home run there. Left field, keep on running.
Did get out in front of that pitch. Now 15 runs batted in for Q. And they're thinking squeeze, so it's a pitch out.
1 out is when you would put a squeeze on. Nobody out. You don't really want to take that big of a chance. Nobody out. You feel like you've got a real good chance to get that run home without putting on a suicide squeeze. There's the throw from Gomes, and then the throw back by Hernandez.
Only the second error this season for Hernandez. Myers tried to blast one, and he missed. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Reds are the best fielding team in the National League with a .989 percentage. They've made the fewest errors, 63, but made 2 errors again tonight. They made 2 errors Friday. And 1 error last night, so that's 5 errors in a 3-game series for Cincinnati. 2 balls and a strike. They could not be happy with that trend. Pitching is not that good. The ERA only 11th best, but the fielding has supported it extremely well. Squeezes on, and it's foul. Tough pitch to get down. That pitch rode in on Myers. He's trying to get his body out of the way so he could get the barrel of the bat on the ball.
Yeah, it's certainly worth a shot. I like this play in this situation with Myers up there hitting a Michael on deck against this tough left-hander.
Pitch wasn't that tough to bunt on second look there. 2-2 the count, and it's foul back. The way the inning was shaking down, it just appeared that Quintero was going to have to be the guy. Number 8 hitter with 1 out. Myers takes a close one, ball 3. Tough to hit in that number 8 position when that is the pressure situation like he had. Very good at bat for Q. And now it goes out to center field. He'll tag. Drew Stubbs with a good arm with a catch. Fires toward the plate. The throw's offline. Quintero scores. Sacrifice fly for Myers. 3-0 lead for Houston. A couple of bad throws from the outfielders that played into the inning for the Astros. They lead it by 3.
Yeah, just a little soft fly ball off the end of the bat, but enough to get the job done. Stubbs throw well offline. No chance whatsoever to make a play on Quintero. He's going to need a little oxygen over there in the dugout. That trip around the bases.
Ball 1 to Michael Bourne. He became the first Houston base runner with a bunt single. 4 hits for the Reds, 3 for the Astros now. And it's a broken bat looper to left. Gomes in to end it in the 5th inning. 3 runs scoring, 2 of them earned on 2 hits with an error. And the Astros lead it 3-0. Berto Quintero, look at the bat hit, traveling well out in front of his body to make that solid contact. 2-run single, he goes into second base, and then takes third on a throwing error by Hernandez. Coors Light Freeze Cam brought to you by the Frost Brewed Coors Light.
Throwing error charge to Hernandez, but Brandon Phillips got to do a better job of blocking that ball.
Yeah.
Really unorthodox move at it.
Central figure in that offensive inning. Quintero now goes back to work with the gear on, and Miguel Cairo leading it off in the 6th.
I like that game against Milwaukee the other day where Dave Bush was perfect through 4 innings and the Astros ambushed him in the 5th.
Myers delivers. There's strike 1 to Cairo, who's 0 for 2. Cairo had a big series at Cincinnati in late May against the Astros, coming up with 6 hits and 14 at-bats, including a homer. Myers with the changeup. 1-1 for Brett. Been quite a run for him this year in his first year in an Astros uniform. Then he signed a contract extension, which will be taken through 3 more.
That's 2 guaranteed and then an option, right?
Yeah, I think the option vests on maybe how many starts he makes in those first 2 years, something like that. Swing and a miss. 2 to Cairo. The Reds go on to Milwaukee. They're not sure if Homer Bailey can take that start tomorrow night. He's had some lightheadedness. He's due to oppose Chris Capuano at Miller Park tomorrow. Bouncer goes foul. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes. Then they wind up in San Diego. So the Reds and Astros both pondering long road trips. The Reds are in the midst of one. A lot of those long trips for teams in the National League here at the end of the year. Rather disturbing trend, JD.
There's no place like home in September.
No. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
We used to get to move into some cool weather for a while.
Yeah.
Maybe not so much in D.C., but Pittsburgh and Cincinnati should be comfortable. Dusty Baker, 25 men have won more games than he as a major league manager, and they will finish with their final 6 at home.
Marcus Johnson.
In all likelihood, the Reds will claim this division, but they're kind of limping to the finish line.
Dusty with his club 42-27 against teams in his division, and the Astros just a half game behind, 41-27. He was citing the Astros have played tough against the Cardinals, and that's really helped the Reds out this year. Joey Votto has a single and a double. Big cut, strike 1.
And the real difference between those 2 clubs, too, the road record. Almost identical home records between Cincinnati and St. Louis, but the Reds have been a winning club on the road. And the Cardinals are 12 games below 500 outside of St. Louis.
No balls, 2 strikes. 13 times in the last 15 years, the team with the best road record in the Central Division has won it. Atlanta just got 4 in the 7th and leads the Mets now 6-3 in the bottom of the 7th. Derek Lee hit his 18th home run for the Braves. He's not really hit very well since joining them. 1-2. Boston 6, Toronto nothing. They're in the bottom of the 6th at Fenway. That's line foul. 1-2 to Votto. Cubs lead Florida 9-3 after 6 at Florida. Dan Uggla hit his 31st for the Fish. And the Cubs continue to play well for Mike Quaddy.
Won 5 in a row, 7 of the last 10.
Upstairs, but Votto knows the strike zone well. He lets it go for ball 2. Arizona 2, Pittsburgh 1. They're in the bottom of the 7th at PNC Park. And McCutchen hit his 16th homer. Bounce foul by Votto. Tampa Bay trails the Angels 4-1 after 4. There's a souvenir right there.
Votto stepping out of the box, taking extra practice swings, really emphasizing getting his hands pulled in. He's been kind of casting his swing out around that fastball in. So instead of pulling the hands and getting the barrel to it, they're getting tied up by the inside pitches. So going to take another shot in there.
He rips that one foul.
Wanted to go up and in with a cut fastball. That one stayed down. A little bit easier to get the barrel to that ball down and in than the one up above the hands.
He pokes at the shortstop. Manzella, 2 outs. Let's get that AT&T trivia question answer about the pitchers who have made more than 30 starts, 6 innings or more. Steve Carlton, Bob Gibson twice, Tom Seaver, Fergie Jenkins. Yeah, Jack McDowell was the guy from the 90s you clued us in about. He had 30. Myers is tied with him. One more for Brett to tie Fergie Jenkins. 72.
And the way the game is played now, it would be nearly impossible for anybody to get to Carlton's 38. He doesn't make that many starts anymore.
No. Strike to Johnny Gomes. He singled to left and line to right. And we had Larry Dierker, who was a 300-inning pitcher. One season in his career. Just a few innings ago, talking about the terrific pitching in the game right now. 300-inning guys. Dinosaurs. Out into right field. Hunter Pence charging. It's a looping hit in front of him. Gomes now has 2 hits in this game.
2 base hits, and the best ball he hit was the drive that Hunter ran down out in deep right field.
Sure was.
Yeah, so the knee-jerk reaction is, well, yeah, they don't make them like they used to, but, you know, the reality is we don't know. We don't know who could be a 300-inning guy. I'm sure there's players physically capable of doing it, but clubs want to protect those arms, and they're fearful to turn guys loose, and it's understandable.
Snap throw to first. There's Q's first pickoff throw of the day here in the 6th inning.
Showing admirable restraint.
Well, he has 3 or 4 by now. Two and 0. Yeah, and because of the tremendous investment clubs have in these pitchers, they're just extremely reluctant. Any little thing gets reported by the pitcher, well, we're going to be cautious. That's the way clubs treat it.
And I think the philosophy is we're going to protect as many pitchers as possible. We're going to monitor their innings. We're not going to ask them to do too much, and that way we keep a higher percentage of players healthy and eligible to help. So we won't find out who could be that guy that could give us 8 innings every time he goes out there, pitch 300 innings in a season. So you lose out on that, but you protect a greater pool of guys, and overall you're probably in better shape.
Only in 1969, when Larry Dierker threw those 300 innings, has that happened for an Astro pitcher. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, 300's always been a big number. But it used to be pretty commonplace for guys to go 250, 260 in that range. Now we get excited when guys go 200 innings. And again, it's not because pitchers are quote-unquote softer. It's just the way the game is played.
That's ball 4. Bruce takes the walk, bringing up Hernandez now. First walk for Myers. Hernandez singled to left in the 2nd, grounded out to short in the 4th. Darryl Kyle was the last Astro to go 250 innings. That was in '97.
Ironically enough, this is the anniversary of Denny McClain winning his 31st game back in 1968. The last 30-game winner in Major League Baseball.
Mike Scott had a 250-inning plus year in '86 for you guys, JD.
Struck out better than 300 that year.
4 balls, 2 strikes. Earlier this year, a couple guys were on that kind of a pace to win 30. It's always interesting to read those stories in June, but McLean did deliver. Of course, it was easier to get wins back in his day because they pitched so much deeper into games, and managing was different.
No DH in the American League. The mound was higher. The players were not as big and strong, so there's less high-stress confrontations for pitchers. Yeah, I mean, look at this Reds lineup here. Their 7-hole hitter Stubbs has got 19 home runs, 70 RBIs. That probably would have led a lot of clubs back in 1970.
Good point.
Or 68.
He checked, or did he? The appeal goes to first base, and he did not swing. Jerry Lane with a call. It's 2-2 on Hernandez now. Yeah, back in the 60s, there were shortstops like Dow Maxfield and Ray Euler who were hitting about, 180 or something like that, standing in the 8th spot. Keppinger in front of it, throwing the lead for the final out. No runs ahead. 2 men stranded, middle of the 6th inning, 3-0 Astros.
Astros up by 3 over Cincinnati, and we had a very special group down on the field and are in the stands here at Minute Maid Park tonight. NCL National Charity League. I'm with Pam Barksdale, who's the National District Coordinator for this group. Pam, tell us a little bit about National Charity League and what you guys are doing out here today.
National Charity League is a mother-daughter organization, a membership organization with 40,000 members in 17 states. We have 900 members out here today to enjoy the cultural experience of an Astros game, and we combined it with a food drive for CCSC, collected 357 bags of groceries to share with Houstonians in need.
Wow, and of course, we are all very familiar with NCL. I'm a member with my daughter, Jim DeShay's wife, Lori, and her daughter are also members, as is Kevin Eschenfelder and his daughter, all members up in the Woodlands. And, you know, this is, you guys did a great thing collecting all these groceries and all this stuff, but just talk a little bit about some of the other things that you guys do and sort of the overall intent of NCL.
Well, our mission is to foster the mother-daughter relationship in an organization committed to community service, leadership development, and cultural experience. And so we really try to prepare our girls to go out to be productive, competent, contributing citizens of our communities.
And we love the lime green shirts. You can see they're scattered throughout the building. And I know you're all big Astro fans too, right?
Big Astros fans.
All right. Great job. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
All right. JD, Bill.
Thanks, Patty. That's a great organization.
Lori and Kelly are members of the Blue Bond chapter.
Okay. 3-0 to Jeff Keppinger. 3 balls, 1 strike. Keppinger 0 for 2. Now Myers has completed 6 innings again. That's 31 consecutive starts out of the chute for Myers of 6 innings or more. Great work for him today, shutting out this Reds club. Over toward the right field corner by Keppinger. Bruce there.
Well, that's the thing about Myers, too. A lot of them have been very similar to this game. It's not that he's struggling to get through 6. I mean, he's giving you 7 into the 8. A lot of times low run out. He's giving up a run or 2. 6 shutouts so far here today. Fairly normal effort from Brett Myers.
Talking with Brian Moeller right now. Brian back from his surgery. Hunter Pence 0 for 2. Tapper to third. Here's the play on the run by Cairo. One bounce throw. Joey Votto saves him with a nice scoop. Cairo's throw was rushed, but he got it down where Votto could make a play on it.
Yeah, that was pretty slick. Cairo knows he has to hurry with Pence, so he's not able to get a lot on the throw, but just a nice backhanded pick there by Joey Votto. Good telemark finish as well.
Votto makes that fine play. Now it's Carlos Lee batting. He's 0 for 2. Looking at ball 1. St. Louis leads San Diego 3-0 at St. Louis in the top of the 5th inning. Adam Wainwright has a shutout going and a no-hitter going 2-4.
About time somebody flirt with a no-hitter. It's been a while.
What's it been, 4 days? 2-0 now. It's been crazy the number of no-hitters that have gone to the 7th inning this year. Strikes, makes it 2-1. Dodgers and the Padres have each been involved in 6 1-0 games this year. It's 3 balls and a strike now. Reds have played much better against the also-rans than against good teams. They're 55-26 against teams under 500. Back for a look is Hernandez, but it's out of play. Reds have a losing record, 29-39 against teams with winning records. 3 balls, 2 strikes. They'll pass it around for a while.
She gets to keep it. She's at the end of the line.
Foul ball by Carlos. Still a full count with Jason Michaels on deck. Reds have really responded after being swept by the Cardinals earlier this season. Last time the Reds even came close to reaching the playoffs was '99. They lost a 1-game playoff for the Mets that year for the wild card spot.
I think Al Leiter got him.
I think you're right. Out into right field and shallow. Jay Bruce laying out for it, but it's a hit for Carlos. And a 7-game hitting streak.
Just a tough pitch by Wood. Change it down and away. Carlos able to get a little piece. Great effort by Jay Bruce. A little bit short.
Very close to a catch. Michaels is flying to right. He's been hit by a pitch and scored a run. There's strike 1.
On Swoboda would have had that one. The Giants this year, they've lost 2 games in which they've pitched 1-hitters. This happened the other day with the Dodgers. It happened against the Padres earlier this year.
Michaels to right field. Bruce gets a very good jump on it. That makes the catch easy. For the 3rd out. After 6, it's 3-0 Astros. By Chevy, by Capital One, and by Verizon Wireless. That's historic Union Station, the old train station, which will turn 100 years old next year. So there's going to be a lot celebrated around this part of Houston next year, the anniversary of that train station, and also 50th anniversary of the Houston baseball team, known as the Colt 45 for 3 years, then the Astros. Drew Stubbs showing bunt, and he does put one down. And he gets on with a hit. That leads it off here in the 7th inning, and that's the way the Astros win at Wood in the 4th with a bunt single by Michael Bourne to lead off the inning.
That may be a good thing that Chris Johnson didn't get the handle on that one, because he may have been tempted to make an ill-advised throw there as well and provided extra bases for Stubbs, because I don't think he was going to get him. Just a dandy of a bunt. Stubbs flying down that first baseline.
Stubbs with 25 steals in 31 attempts, reaching for Paul Janisch. Janisch has hit the ball in the air twice to right field and to center. Pitcher spot due up next. They are warming up a pitcher, Jordan Smith, in the bullpen. Janisch takes ball one. Nobody has appeared yet in the on-deck circle for Cincinnati.
A lot of left-handed bats available. He's also got Scott Rowland, who has very good numbers against Myers. And those would be the two things to consider for Dusty Baker.
Fly ball. Michael Bourne moves in center. One down for Myers. And now the Reds waiting for somebody to come out. And the home plate umpire looking over at Dusty Baker. And there is Jim Edmonds coming out to hit. Edmonds was in the starting lineup last night playing left field. He homered off the left field foul pole. Also drew a walk, and he singled, scoring 3 times, going 2 for 4 in the process. Just returned a few days ago from an injury. Edmonds was out with a strained right oblique, returning September 9th, but playing sparingly since then. He was acquired in a trade on August 9th for outfielder Chris Dickerson. Snap throw to first. Stubbs back.
Q loves it when that left-handed hitter comes up with a man on first. He can sneak behind and make that quick throw. Only Albert Pujols and Aramis Ramirez have hit more home runs than Edmonds among visiting players at Minute Maid Park. Got one last night.
That was his 16th. 101 pitches for Myers. Edmonds is a .292 career hitter against Myers. 7 hits and 24 at bats with a homer and 6 walks. And he takes ball 3. Edmonds has hit .286 in pinch hitting roles this season. Those are the numbers on Myers with Phillips on deck. Edmonds takes a strike. Reds pinch hitters have belted 10 home runs. Fernando Abad and Mark Melancon are warming up for Houston. Myers' spot could come up in the bottom of the inning if the Astros get a man on base. Edmonds takes one to left field. Jason Michaels back. He took one out to left field last night, right down the line. That's out number 2. Now Phillips. Phillips is 0 for 3. Well, the Astros relievers who have been hitting it so hard recently got a rest last night, even though there were 5 relievers who pitched in the game. They were Villar, Chacin, Wright, Paulino, and Del Rosario. So the Matt Lindstroms, the Brandon Lyons, the guys who have really been grinding it. Tim Burdack did not pitch in that game. There's strike 1 to Phillips.
Wilton Lopez has been on ice most of the homestand.
He's on a nice long rest. That's what he needed. Runner going. Hot shot. Good play by Carlos Lee. And he takes it to the bag to get Phillips. That ball was blistered toward the right field corner. El Caballo stopped it to the backhand side. No runs ahead, a man left. Here's the play by Carlos coming off the bag and then backhanding. And then it's easy. 3-0 Astros, and now we'll keep it right here for the singing of God Bless America with Joe Prince doing the singing. Joe's celebrating his 92nd birthday today.
We salute you. We thank you for your service. Welcome home. And now, ladies and gentlemen, to honor our great nation, we send it down to the field to a young man who is celebrating his 92nd birthday today. Please join Joe Prince for the singing of God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Happy birthday, Joe Prince.
Land Rover showing you the day for Brett Myers. 7 strong shutout innings against the Cincinnati Reds. Getting a strikeout there on Stubbs, and along the way, he has piled up a lot of ground ball outs. He has struck out 5. He's had his breaking ball moving to the corners, just dropping it in right on the edges of the plate. It's been quite a day for Brett Myers against the top offensive team in the National League. Now bottom of the 7th inning, and it's Jordan Smith on the mound. 3-2 is his record. 3.29 is ERA for 38 1/3 innings. Good strikeout to walk ratio. He faces Chris Johnson.
Saw him for an inning last night. He gave up a hit, no runs, punched out a couple.
Smith from American Fork, Utah, went to Southern Nevada Community College. Ground ball goes foul, listed at 6'4", 220. Last year he was with Carolina AA. 6th round pick in 06. Issues in He was recalled from Louisville on September 3rd. He's made 6 scoreless appearances, including one last night in the 11-1 Reds win. Gave up a hit last night. Bill Bray's warming up now as this drive goes to left. At the bat of Chris Johnson. Headed for the seats. Home run Johnson. Number 10 of the year for CJ. 4-0 Astros.
Astros able to put an inning together in the 5th, but one swing of the bat here providing a little insurance.
The Coors Light Cold Hard Blast provided by the Astros slugging third sacker. Here it is.
Trying to go down and away, and that slider just backs up on Smith. Right into the sweet spot. CJ, his eyes getting awfully big, saying, come on, get out of here.
And it did to that guy in the brown shirt. Now bouncer by Tommy Manzella goes foul. Strike one. Tommy's 0 for 2. That was home run number 101 for the Astros. They're last in the league, but when they hit, it usually really mattered. Iowa takes the lead from 3-0 to 4-0. This ball on the right side of the field going over in foul territory to Joey Votto. 1 out.
Well, last time up, Chris Johnson took a 2-0 fastball down into the right field corner. This time it's a slider. First pitch swinging. Nice stroke. That's the thing about CJ. He's shown the ability to hit the ball the other way with authority and to turn on some balls inside as well.
His 10th homer. Earlier he got his 20th double. Humberto Quintero with a 2-run single. Got the big hit. He strike one. That made it 2-0 Astros. And he came around on the Fred Myers sac fly. Q 1 for 2 in this game. Jeff Blum comes out to the on-deck circle with Fred Myers due up next. There's a soft pop going up the line in right. Joey Votto there. Foul ground. We go to Patty Smith.
Well, the Astros thank you for being the best fans in baseball. Join us for the final game of the season on Sunday, October 3rd against the Cubs for Fan Appreciation Day. A prize will be awarded every half inning to lucky fans in attendance. Prizes include gifts from Dr. Guy Lewis, Taco Bell, Shipley's Donuts, Reliant Energy, and more. Visit Astros.com for tickets, Bill.
Thanks, Patty. Fred Myers checks out after 7 shutout innings. Dusty Baker, after Jeff Blum was announced as the pinch hitter, will go to his bullpen. And he'll go to a left-hander, it would appear, after Jordan Smith gives him 2/3 of an inning, giving up 1 hit, 1 run. Chris Johnson homer made it 4-0. Houston, we'll be right back. In the 5th inning, breaking a 0-0 tie, And that one started with a hit batsman by Jason Michaels. 2-run single by Humberto Quintero. Brett Myers' sacrifice fly included. Travis Wood gave up 3 runs on 4 hits in 6 innings. 2 of them earned, walking nobody, striking out 5. Brett Myers went a little bit better. 7 innings, 6 hits, no runs. 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. He's in a position to be a 13-game winner. And it's Bill Bray, pitcher number 3 for Cincinnati. Verizon call to the bullpen brings in the hard-throwing left-hander, facing Jeff Blum. Turning him around to bat right. Jeff has played sparingly here in September. There's ball 1 to him. And as a right-handed batter, he's had only 26 at-bats all year. Bray is 0-2. His ERA is 4.33.
Started the year on the DL. Had elbow surgery. Did not start pitching till early June. Was called up by the Reds towards the end of the month of June.
Blum has come through in his last 2 pinch hit at bats. Bray hits that one into the strike zone. It's 1-2. Blummer, a .306 hitter, pinch hitting this season with 11 hits and 10 runs batted in off the bench. 11 for 36. Tied with Jason Michaels for the club lead in pinch hits. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Paid attendance 32,520. Blum has had 15 at bats in September with 2 hits. Right into the center field area as he smacks one through the middle. 3 for 3 now recently as a pinch hitter.
Well, the fact that he's getting very few at-bats hasn't really affected him. It's kind of like when you step away from golf for a while. Sometimes you come back and you feel better about things.
Oh, yeah. Michael Bourne, when he bunted for a hit back in the 4th, reached base for the 27th consecutive game in which he had a plate appearance. 1 for 3. Take strike 1 from Bray.
Bray, like Wood, awfully tough on left-handed hitters. Lefty's hitting 109 against Billy Bray this year.
In the dirt for a ball, 1-1. Michael went into 10th place on the club's all-time stolen base list with a steal last night, giving him 154. Passing Gerald Young. Gerald is here today. Gary Durker mentioning his name with the Astros alumni group. It's high for a ball, and it's 2-1. Bray has not pitched against the Astros since the 08 season. Carlos Fisher's warming up.
You know how we've had the conversation over the last few years about these maple bats and the way they shatter and the fact that somebody's really going to get hurt?
Yes, somebody did.
Tyler Colvin is in stable condition at a Miami hospital after he was hit in the upper chest by a piece of a bat during today's game. He was coming down the line from third and a portion of the bat punctured his chest.
Oh, gosh. Michael's got a back problem now. He reached for the back after fouling off that last pitch. Brad Mills coming out. Rex Jones, the assistant athletic trainer, and looks like Michael is assuring everybody he's all right, but the Astros aren't buying it yet. That doesn't look very good. He's going to stay in. Now, he was saying just a few days ago he's really held up well physically this season. That's flared foul.
It's biting him. Got him in that swing too. Now he's looking over to the dugout, maybe as if to say, you know what, maybe it's time to make a change.
It will be time to get him out now from that expression on his face.
You hate to lose his defense in center field, but you've got a 4-0 lead.
And Michael knows it's time now. So close to the finish line in this marathon. So many at-bats for Michael Bourne this year. 535 at-bats, including this game today. It's his 141st game.
An oblique, maybe.
Very well be. And we're certainly not wishing this on him, but this close to the end of the year, if it's an oblique, it might be it for Michael. Caution reigns supreme here in September. You guys have been grinding it all year long. You get banged up. Jason Bourgeois will come up as the pinch hitter with a 2-2 count.
Well, Jason, a 262 hitter this year with 2 balls, 2 strikes on the count.
Wow, you're all over that. And he taps it foul. That's not an easy pinch hit opportunity here. Come up with a 2-2 count. Jeff Kepinger's on deck.
The good news is if he gets a knock, it's his. If he strikes out, it's Michael's.
That's a freebie. Well, that's true. That's probably the way it should be. Can't expect a guy to, after sitting for what, 2 hours, come up there with a 2-2 count and do very much.
Foul balls allowing him to see a couple of pitches. Yeah, keyhole in there on a borderline fastball. Just telling you what, you want to need a guy for Midtown AB. Here's your man.
Runner going on 3-2, and Ray gets a strikeout.
Nope. Foul tip. Foul ball. Stayed alive.
Hernandez was walking off the field.
He's not arguing. He was just trying to sell it.
He was jittering.
Yeah, clearly bounced. Trying to sell it on Brian Runge, and he's not buying.
Well, I'm ready to go again on 3-2. And that's ball 4. Bourgeois draws a pinch walk. First and second for Keppinger. And that does go to Bourgeois, that walk.
I lied too.
Did you?
Yeah, because he's hitting 231 on 2-2 counts.
I thought you were awfully quick with that.
Yeah, you can.
Well, you had me going on it. Dusty Baker wants to make a change. Keppinger, a right-handed batter, followed by Pence and Lee and Michaels. All these right-handed hitters coming up. That's it for break. With the score, Astros 4, Reds nothing.
Major League Baseball postseason on Fox and TBS. The excitement begins October 6th with the Division Series on TBS. Bill?
Thanks, Patty. Pooches have stuck around. They're going to get a complete game. And it's far from a dog of a game here. 4-0 Astros as the right-hander Carlos Fisher comes in. He's 1-1. His ERA is 6.
And if you're looking for some dining options between Louisville and Cincinnati, he's your man.
Really?
He's been on that shuttle all year long, up and down 3 or 4 different times. I can tell you all the hot spots along the way.
Jeff Keppinger takes a look at it. It's ball 1. Yeah, he ought to have that I-75 corridor pretty well planted in his mind. Kep is 0 for 3 in this game. 2 men on and 2 outs. The Astros up 4-0. The Reds have Cairo, Votto, and Gomes due up in the 8th.
I hear the Go Aces is a good spot along the way.
Okay.
Maybe not as good as Bucky.
This is a good spot. 1 ball, 1 strike. Stop for a little beef jerky. Get yourself fortified. Roll right on into the Queen City. Washington 5, Philadelphia 3, bottom of the 7th inning at Citizens Bank Park.
Those have been a tough team to beat lately.
Over toward the right field corner, Jay Bruce. And in the 7th inning, the Astros get a Johnson homer. 1 run, 2 hits, 2 men left, 4-0.
If you're interested in learning more about that, check out ChevyTexasBaseball.com. See all that they do for the Utes of the great state of Texas.
Jason Bourgeois stays in to play center field after pinch hitting for the injured Michael Bourne. And the new pitcher is Matt Lindstrom, working the 8th inning with a 4-0 lead. Miguel Cairo leads it off. He's 0 for 3. First pitch, strike 1 from Lindstrom. After Brett Myers went 7 shutout innings. Lindstrom's 2-5. He has 23 saves and a 3.93 ERA.
We'll give the Reds hitters a little different look as he comes in with that 95-mile-an-hour heater.
Missing outside, 1-1. It's a look they saw Friday night when he came in with a 5-3 lead in the 8th inning. He threw 20 pitches and worked the scoreless frame. Lindstrom has picked up 4 holds since he came back from his injury and has not been in the closer role except for 1 opportunity. To right field, Hunter Pence waiting. 1 out. Ball looked like it had a little cutting action late there for Lindstrom. That'll be Joey Votto. Votto has a single, a double in 3 trips.
Yeah, that's what happens when you try to throw your slider and you don't get any tilt on it. You just call it a cutter. You just change the jargon. No, I didn't hang a slider. It was just a little cutter.
Sounds good. Johnny Gomes on deck. That's out to left center field. Michaels headed way back toward the bullpen wall. Off the wall. Michaels down. Picked up by Bourgeois. Another double for Votto. His second of the game and 35th of the year, and that's a 3-hit game. Michaels banged into that bullpen fence hard.
Well, I think next year when the Reds come to town, when Joey Votto's up, we should just put a man out there. Just put somebody about 2 steps in front of that bullpen in left center. Because he is locked in on that spot.
Yeah, he pounds the ball hard to that area of the field. Fernando Abad's warming up for Houston. Votto just picked up hit number 7 for the Reds. Johnny Gomes has 2 of those and a line out to right field where Hunter Pence made a good catch. Reds have had 2 hits only in the first inning. Their other hits have been singular in nature. There's ball 1. They've been blanked a dozen times this year. And they might lose a game on their lead if they lose this one, because the Cardinals are up 4-0 after 7 over San Diego. With Adam Wainwright on the mound, he's given up 3 hits through 7. Colby Rasmus hit his 23rd home run.
Gomes brings a lot of energy to the batter's box. I mean, he's a bundle of action. He's always moving, chomping away on that chaw. Normally you see a hitter would want to calm down in the box. He looks like he's getting ready to run back a kickoff.
Good pitch there, makes it 2-1. Winston kept that one low. Pittsburgh got 3 in the 8th and knocked off Arizona 4-3. Joel Hanrahan won his 4th. Votto the runner at second. And Heilman was the loser, and Evan Meek got his 3rd save. Neil Walker hit his 12th home run. That's in the air, and Keppinger points it out. Hunter Pence moving in. 2 down.
I wonder what kind of crowds we can anticipate in Pittsburgh on this trip.
Good question.
What are we there, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday? No, we're there over the weekend.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe it's a Sky Blast or something.
Could be. People do show up for the fireworks there. Jay Bruce is 0 for 2 with a walk. Well, we had a concert last night. You got to stick around for the Robert Earl King concert.
Yeah, I didn't stay for all of it, but I was here for some of it.
That was fun.
Yeah.
And then another concert today after the game for Mercy Me. It's amazing that they can get the equipment out on the field and put it into play so quickly after a baseball game. There's the trip starting tomorrow night with 4 games in Washington. Thursday's a day game. 3 next weekend in Pittsburgh, an off day in Cincinnati, and then 3 there in the Queen City before coming back home for the final 3 with the Cubs. Broken bat up the middle, diving Keppinger on through into center. Here's Votto around to score to make it 4-1. An RBI single for Bruce, his 65th run batted in.
That bat died a hero.
Bruce has driven in 15 runs in his last 11 games.
And he is so strong. He's got that left-handed power stroke where he can go from low to high, go down and get a low ball and lift it. I think I would not be surprised if he was a 35-40 home run guy next year.
The Reds are on the board, and they have Hernandez batting. He's 1 for 3. Brandon Lyons getting loose for the Astros. The Astros now over 2.2 million in home attendance for the year, with 3 games remaining. Atlanta knocked off the Mets 6-3 at Citi Field. Derek Lowe winning to go to 14-12. R.A. Dickey, the loser, is 11-7. Craig Kimbrell got his first save. Giving Billy Wagner the day off. 2 balls, no strikes. Boston shut out Toronto 6-0 at Fenway. John Lester going to 18-8 with that shutout win over Sean Markham. He's 12-8. Victor Martinez hit his 18th. J.B. Drew his 19th for the Sox. That's ripped to left field. Michael's turning, watching it go. That's way up, almost through the archway. A 2-run shot by Hernandez, and now it's a 1-run lead. 4-3 as the Reds come roaring back here in the 8th.
Yeah, win number 13 for Brett Myers, now looking a little tenuous.
7 home runs for Hernandez, 47 runs batted in.
Good fastball hitter. And again, that fastball targeted down and away, has a little run back towards the middle of the plate. And he put a good aggressive swing on it. Again, he's another example of the depth of this Reds lineup. Doesn't have the big numbers this year because he's been hurt some, but he's a good hitter.
That's a resounding sound you just heard.
Yeah, you know it's hit hard when the people in the stands aren't trying to catch it, they're trying to get out of the way.
The Reds belted 3 long balls last night. Mark Mulance's headed in. And with the score, Houston 4, Cincinnati 3. We'll be right back. Out, Joey Votto doubled. With 2 outs, Jay Bruce singled him home. And then Ramon Hernandez belted a 2-run homer, prompting the pitching change, bringing in Mark Melancon. He's 2-0 with a 1.88 ERA.
Yeah, he has pitched scoreless baseball in 10 of his last 11 appearances for the Astros. Mark had a cup of coffee with the Yankees last year, and then just a little thimble of coffee with the Yankees this year before being traded to the Astros. So overall, 34 2/3 major league innings under his belt. 2 wins, a loss, a 3.63 ERA. He's just with 2 home runs in 34 innings.
So he hasn't had a whole lot of caffeine. Well, here's a high-octane situation for him. 2 Stubbs who can tie the ball game with a long ball, 1 for 3. Here's ball 1. Oriana's on deck.
Stubbs last time leading off the inning bunted for a base hit. He's looking for extra bases this time up with 2 outs.
The appeal goes, and it's a check swing call by Jerry Lane at first. It's 2-0.
So this is a dangerous situation here. Stubbs has plenty of power, and put him in a situation where he can sit on a fastball. You got to be awfully careful. Make sure you get in a real good spot or come off the heater. Ooh. Wow. He didn't do either, but he got away with it. He was trying to go down and away, and he threw it right over the middle. And Stubbs knows he missed one.
Melanson goes with a breaking pitch and gets strike 2. And he was turning toward Chris Johnson. I don't know about covering the bunt as he was warming up.
A good yacker right there. Right over the top.
And strike 3. That ends the Reds' 8th inning with 3 runs on 3 hits. It's 4-3 Astros. Brad Myers with a very good day. 7 shutout innings, 5 strikeouts. Then a 2-run single by Humberto Quintero in the 5th inning, making it 2-0. He advances on a throwing error by the catcher Hernandez to third, scores on a Myers sacrifice fly. Then a Chris Johnson homer in the 7th inning makes it 4-0 Houston. And the Reds just came back with a 3-run 8th inning, making a 1-run lead now with pitcher number 4 coming out of the Reds bullpen. Number 5, Logan Andrusek, the 25-year-old native of Shiner, Texas, who went to McLennan Community College. He'll be pitching for the 2nd time in this series.
Yeah, Reds have called on him quite often this year, 54 times, 4-0, 4.08 the ERA. Astros look to push one across here. Brandon Line a little wiggle room.
Another pitch in the air to right center. Jay Bruce one pitch, one out for Andrusek.
Runner 0 for 4 this afternoon. We'll wait for the road trip to try to get things turned around.
Carlos Lee dunked a single in front of the sliding right fielder Jay Bruce in the 6th inning. He's 1 for 3. Jordan Smith in 2/3 of an inning gave up a hit and a run. Bill Bray, no innings, 1 hit, no runs, had a walk. Carlos Fisher 1/3 of an inning, all zeros allowed. And strike 1 to leave. Jason Michaels on deck. Reds have Janish, the pitcher spot, and Phillips due up in the 9th.
Bruce, big lanky right-hander, comes right over the top. Pretty good petrol.
One and 2. Washington 6, the Phillies 3, bottom of the 8th inning in Philadelphia. Bouncer on Andrusek.
Tough to bounce one over him.
Yeah.
About 6'6"?
Yep. He is, well, actually listed at 6'7".
6'7".
All that frame and all of his reach to snag it. J-Mike is 0 for 2. Jason hit by pitch in the 5th inning and rode home on the 2-run single by Quintero. There's strike 1, which if the Astros win this game will probably be considered the key at bat of the day. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Reds have had some issues with their closer, Francisco Cordero. We have not seen him in this series. 1-2. Blown a couple of saves recently. Smack to the gap in right center, but Drew Stubbs is coasting over for the catch to end the 8th inning. 4-3 Astros, moving to the 9th. Fox Sports Houston is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Check out the 2010 F-150. Ford is the best in Texas. Steve Perry's collection of bobbleheads, perhaps the most extensive anywhere. Maybe not, but it's very strong anyway.
It's got to be among the top 2 or 3 in all the land.
Brett Wallace checks in to play first base in a double switch. He's in the number 9 spot in the order. Carlos Lee coming out. Carlos was 1 for 4. In that 4 spot goes Brandon Lyon, the closer with 17 saves and 19 opportunities.
His heart rate probably went up a little bit as the Reds put that 3 spot on the board in the 8th inning. So now he comes on not with a comfortable lead, but a 1-run cushion to protect here. It's kind of oxymoronic, 1-run cushion. Not much of a cushion at all.
Well, when you're facing a pinch hitter named Yonder Alonso, who has very good power. He's pinch hitting for Paul Giannis.
Not a bad idea to put a little wrinkle in it with Yonder. Looks like he's geared for the fastball. Very powerful hitter.
He almost hit one Yonder on Friday night. The ball jumped off his bat and was caught right in front of the right field wall. And missing there. Brandon Lyon goes to a 1-1 count on Alonso. He hit a fly ball in the 8th inning as a pinch hitter Friday night off Matt Lindstrom. A couple of men on base in the Astros 5-3 win for one of the key outs. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Alonso, very highly regarded, advancing through the Reds system this season. 23 years old, a first-round pick in 2008. 7th player drafted, born in Havana, Cuba, but he went to college at the University of Miami. Moved to the United States at age 10. Big cut and a strikeout. Down.
Very anxious in that at bat to try to be a hero, and Lyon took advantage of it. Another good curveball. Alonso, very big swing at it. And on the top, wax cue on top of the head, but he stays with the play and applies the tag.
Juan Francisco is a pinch hitter now for Logan Andrusek. Francisco, another with good hitting credentials in the minor leagues. .286 for the Reds this year. He is 5 for 19 as a pinch hitter with a homer and 3 runs batted in. Dusty Baker was watching him take some batting practice before the game. Really likes his stroke. There is strike 1 to Francisco. He's been a third baseman as he's developed through the Reds system. At .286 at Louisville. He also played some outfield and some first base. Primarily a third baseman, though. 1 ball and 1 strike to Francisco. He was retired as a pinch hitter in last night's game. Ryan puts it in to his zone for a strike 2 pitch, and it's a 1-2 count now. Matt Lindstrom in 2/3 of an inning allowed 3 hits, 3 runs with no walks, no strikeouts. Mark Melanson fanned the only man he faced, Stubbs. Big cut of the curveball. He struck him out. 2 down. This would be a sweet series win if the Astros get it.
Sure would. The Reds have not lost many series since the All-Star break. They've been a very good come-from-behind team. A lot of big dramatic finishes for them this year. Brandon Lyon wants no part of that.
It's a Brandon versus Brandon matchup as Phillips comes up. He's 0 for 4. Lyon got the save Friday night in the 5-3 win with a hitless inning. And he retired Phillips on a liner to left. And a great catch by Jason Bourgeois Friday night. They strike 1. Well, Lyon in the last week pitched Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. Now back on the mound Sunday. A week ago he pitched in 4 consecutive games in the Dodgers series. One and 1. Fred Meyer's 13th win on the line. Brad Mills Club 2-6 at Minute Maid Park against the Reds this year. Ground ball, diving Keppinger, but it's a single into right field by Phillips. And that prolongs the game, and Scott Rowland will come up to pinch hit for Miguel Cairo.
Phillips been pulling off a lot of balls in this series. That ball up a little bit. It was away from him, but up. And able to get pretty good wood on it. Phillips, a threat to steal a base. He has not been a very efficient base stealer this year. He's stolen 15, but he's been caught 11 times.
Rowland, 2 for 5 as a pinch hitter with 2 pinch hit homers this season. Has driven in 4. He was in the original starting lineup today and then scratched. Ball 1 to him. Rowland has been bothered by stiffness in his upper back and neck. Ryan did not face him in the Friday night appearance. Rowland's 1 for 7 in this series with an RBI. Strike call makes it 1-1 to Rowland. The Astros trying to win their first series against the Reds this year. 3 more games coming at Cincinnati. The Astros have won 4 of their last 5 series, 18 of their last 26 games.
As good as Rowland is, he's the guy you want to get after. Joey Votto's on deck.
And takes it for ball 2. 2-1. Votto has 3 hits in this game, 2 of them doubles. Rowland punches one to right field. That's in for a hit. Phillips will go to second and hold there as the throw comes in. And a pinch single for Rowland does get Votto to the plate.
Interesting to contrast the approach that Rowland had with the 2 previous pinch hitters, the youngsters who were up there swinging, trying to hit the ball 7 miles, and Rowland's just willing to punch this breaking ball the other way. Good short stroke, quick path to the ball, and Dusty Baker got what he was hoping for. Joey Votto up there with a chance to tie the ball game or perhaps even give the Reds a lead.
Dusty's club has had the magic going in the late innings this year. And Votto has been right at the hub of a lot of what they've done offensively. 3 for 4 today. Batting average at .324 for Votto. That's strike one. You know, just watching the at-bats by Phillips and Rowland kind of takes us back to the Wednesday game with Milwaukee when Brandon Lyon got his only blown save since he's been in the closer's role, and he came in with a 1-run lead in the 9th inning. Corey Hart, Ryan Braun both punched opposite field doubles up the right field line often.
Yeah, you can't be real greedy against Brandon because he's got very good command. He doesn't leave many pitches over the middle. He's got to be willing to go the other way.
Out on a ball in tight.
Joey Votto, for arguably the best hitter in the National League, takes a lot of really weird swings.
Yeah, he does.
At the end of the day, he hits the ball hard a high percentage of the time, but he takes some funky swings.
32,520 the paid attendance. These fans are ready. There's a fly ball to shallow center field. Manzella out. Manzella with a catch to end it. And Brandon Lyon saves it for Brett Myers. The Astros win their first series of the year from Cincinnati, and they slow down the first place club by taking 2 out of 3 this week, and Brandon Lyon puts the lock on a 4-3 Houston win.